What is that thing you're doing?
It's technical. It's one of our little toys. Something is different.
Good.
Anything different is good.
Go ahead. Your bus is leaving.
Backhouse man. I'm a scientist.
What's always a question of good? You only think about the bad.
I just have a feeling that something is wrong.
Good things do happen.
Make it Centauri time.
Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Groundhog Jungle. Today we're going to be looking at Scrooged, the festive treat from Bill Murray. My name's Alex Hillman.
And I am Matthew Fleming.
And before we get started, an apology about the last podcast, which was a pile of shite. We enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
don't know if you did. We may well have
you
to...
gleaned anything from the film from it? Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I highly doubt it. I mean, I've gleaned that we can be idiots. Especially me.
I feel like we knew this. I feel like-
Enjoyable idiots. And we did know it.
But we're going to talk about this film. The film.
Yeah,
this
we're
time.
going to talk about Scrooged. Apologies if you're a massive fan of A Little Shop of Horrors, although we sort of established that no one is. But apologies.
Yes,
if
no
you are.
one's a massive fan. It probably has fans.
Yeah, just not a massive fan. So
And
you're probably
yet-
going to be disappointed by
and
this
yet
podcast, by that
sometimes-
podcast.
In film reviews and TV magazines, it tends to get very good ratings, actually better than Scrooge in some cases, because there are a lot of people that don't like Scrooge.
Yes, but we're about to tell you why they're silly.
They are silly.
So I have a bit of a soft spot for the story of A Christmas Carol. Scrooged, if you're not aware, is an adaptation of A Christmas Carol set in the modern time, but by modern I mean the 1980s, because that was when this was made. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the story of A Christmas Carol. I think it is, much like people consider sort of the story of, a lot of people think of Romeo and Juliet as being the ultimate love story.
Yeah.
The story of Christ as being the ultimate story. I think of A Christmas Carol definitely being the ultimate Christmas story, if not the ultimate moral story.
Yeah.
And I think it's an incredible story. I think it's Charles Dickens' best story.
Oh,
And I've read quite a few of
controversial.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the most applicable, I think. It's perfect Christmas fodder. And I think Scrooged, does a very good job of modernising it and making it into something dark,
Yeah.
but also accessible to families. And I really enjoyed it when I was a very young sort of teenager,
Yeah.
and have enjoyed it ever since. It involves Michael O'Donoghue, who
Yeah.
we have previously seen in Mr. Mike's Mondo video. Now, I believe, did he co-write
He co-wrote it with Mitch Glazer, I think.
Yes, who's also involved in subsequent...
in lots of. I think this might be his first.
Yeah.
He's the one we think that first dubbed Bill Murray the Murricane.
Really?
I believe so.
didn't know that.
Him and his wife, I think.
Right.
So Mitch Glazer, we will meet quite a few times in these
Yeah.
reviews in
But this is his
Rock
first
the
appearance?
Casbah. Yep.
Yeah.
In Passion Play and in Hyde Park on Hudson. I think
Yeah.
he wrote or co-wrote or directed
Yeah.
some of those.
So a
He's
lot of
involved in
Bill
all of them.
Murray films that are not sort of considered his best.
No, but
perhaps.
actually we liked most of those.
Yeah,
and they're really good.
And we love this.
Yeah, and we
So-
love this.
so
The
we
darker elements, though, in this film probably come from Mike O'Donoghue.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. So the film, I won't relay the plot to you. I'm hoping you
Because
would
it is a Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
with
it's a
more
Christmas Carol
adaptations,
with... But Bill Murray
But
is...
the Bob Cratchit character,
Yeah.
that's Mike O'Donoghue, isn't it? The guy that goes nuts, the
Yeah.
guy that, like, you know, and all those weird things on the TV, that doom and gloom stuff on those TVs.
Yeah.
and all of
And
that.
that's Elliot Loudermilk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who played by Bobcat Goldthwait, whose name I love saying. So Bill Murray is an arsehole in this film.
Yeah.
He relishes this part, I think. He has some interesting hair. He's very much thinning at this point, but he's got that 80s kind of mullet look.
Yeah.
So it's very tall, but very thin. And he's an arsehole. He's a TV executive who works in a seemingly constantly dark building. And the idea is the film kicks off with him abusing, basically, his...
Where are you going here?
no,
Is this the same film?
his employees.
Yes.
And
Yes, yes.
and also trying to push this awful TV promo advertising his Christmas. You're right.
Sorry, yeah, I was just looking at some Tesco vouchers over there. Carry on.
Okay.
You carry on. I'm intrigued.
Oh, you're actually okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay. Advertising his Christmas sort of special, which is a live TV version of Charles Dickens' immortal A Christmas Carol, which would be brilliant, wouldn't it? I'd
what a
love
great
to see
concept.
a live Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And the film sort of takes place with them trying to put this on. He's trying to push this awful
Is it
promo.
a telethon as well? Are they
What, for
raising money
charity?
during it? Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Potentially. But anyway, it's a wonderful film. It's interestingly, it's got... I don't know why this suddenly popped into my head. The waiter in one of the scenes... do you remember the really posh waiter who says,
Yes,
are
yeah.
you he, rather than are you him? is also Socrates in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that film actually.
Oh.
I'm sure I'd like it.
Anyway,
cameo-wise, role-wise, well, there's loads of great performances other than just Bill Murray to enjoy. There's Bill Murray's brother, Brian
actual
Doyle Murray,
brother playing his brother.
playing his dad, isn't he?
Bill Murray's
playing his dad.
So he's got two brothers in this film.
Oh yes, he does.
One,
yeah.
one whose name escapes me, plays his brother in the film,
Right.
And you can tell they're brothers, just because they look like each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah.
Brian Doyle Murray is Bill Murray's much older brother,
Who's playing
who's
his
like
dad
10
in
years
this, I'm
older
sure.
than him, and in the flashback in the film, he plays his dad. So
Yeah.
Brian Doyle Murray has popped up again.
For the second time.
Great cameos. Karen Allen?
Karen Allen,
Who
from the Indiana Jones.
From the Indiana Jones films is brilliant in this
She's
film.
really good in this.
She's so lovely. And you instantly, their sort of relationship is both heartbreaking at
Yeah.
times and very believable. It's got a guy from Bonnie and Clyde, I believe, who plays the homeless guy.
Oh yes, yeah, that's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. And so you're reminding me that there's quite a lot of pathos in this film.
Yeah, there is.
As there is in Christmas Carol.
I mean, Karen Allen she gives much. It shouldn't be hard as a woman to act opposite Bill Murray, but I think it is in some ways.
Yeah.
So I think it must be. I think he does challenge performers, particularly women, for some reason. I'm not sure if it's a deliberate thing, but we do. A lot of the people we hear that he hasn't got on with have been women.
Yeah.
And so I think it's much props to people like who are the women Stripes.
So PJ
Sean
Souls
Young and PJ
and
Souls,
Sean Young, yeah.
Scarlett Johansson, Karen Allen, Sigourney Weaver, people that have done excellent jobs of matching him for energy, of matching him for pathos and everything.
For me, what gets me is Karen Allen is her acting is beautiful, and you really sense that he's an arsehole, but she still loves him or has extremely strong feelings for him. And she doesn't let him get away with anything. So she is kind and really sweet, but also just won't put up with him being a dick, basically. And you really sense that relationship between them. It's lovely. It's one of my favourite things in the film, actually, along with the darkness. And this is a film of dark and light.
Yes, and not The Darkness, the
No.
Justin Hawkins band, because they aren't in this.
No, they'd be too young, wouldn't they?
Although they do the theme tune to the new CBeebies programme, Katie's Amazing Machines, which is interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
No, it's new.
Oh, Katie's Amazing Machines.
Yes.
No, I'm thinking of
Joanne's case.
Yeah, that's why I'm touching your leg. Is
Yeah,
there an arm? Is there a chair?
I mean,
table
there
leg?
is a
Oh,
leg
that's
to
the
this.
one.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We are recording this on a table.
Yeah.
We don't normally. It's
No.
it's a bit of a break in production values.
Yeah. I don't know if we sound clearer or less.
We'll find
clear.
out, won't we?
We will by putting it on the internet.
I also wonder if there's a little creak every now and again. So I do this, and I wonder if you can hear that. We'll find out.
That's my arse.
Yes, it is. Your wooden bottom. Now, there's a lot to talk about with this film. I mean, it is a joy, isn't it? It's a dark joy sometimes. Sometimes it's a sweet joy. Sometimes there's that lovely. There's a bit at the end where he has a monologue to camera, and it's just great. It's a great bit of monologue. I've used it before in teaching.
Have you?
Yeah,
That's good.
It didn't go well because students these days don't know what Scrooged is. They don't know films from the 80s. They don't.
Do they know who Bill Murray is?
They might do. It's sad if they don't, isn't
Yeah.
it? But that's all right, because that means none of them are going to listen to this.
Yes, which is probably just as well.
It's probably just as well.
Yeah.
But yes, it's beautiful. So it's been written really well. Like
Yeah.
the writing is excellent, and I know Mike O'Donoghue wasn't pleased with it because I think they changed his vision a bit. It wasn't dark enough for him.
The thing is, if you're going to make a Christmas film, you've got to appreciate that people are going to lighten it up a bit, especially if they sense there might be a family market.
Yeah.
I mean, the only sort of Christmas film I've ever seen that is not for children is Krampus.
I thought you were going to say Krampus, and I don't like Krampus.
The film, the recent one.
For me, it doesn't go far enough.
Interesting.
And it's, I don't. It's dark and unlight in the wrong places. I think the pace.
Did you not
is-
enjoy it?
I
went to see it in
didn't,
the cinema.
sadly. Yeah, no, I know you did, and you told me it was good, and I
Yeah.
didn't see it. Maybe it's to do with
shame.
seeing it at the cinema. Maybe.
Maybe.
I expected better things
Okay.
from it, to be honest, which is a shame. Performances were good. But this is a superior Christmas film, isn't it? And
Yeah.
there are people who don't like it, and I don't really know why.
What's the primary reason? I mean, it's a little bit dated in places. It's very 80s.
I think they
the
say it's
only
like it's too
criticism.
cynical and stuff, and it's too.
But I totally disagree because in line with the original Christmas Carol, it does remind you what's important at Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't think it is too cynical. I think Bill Murray's a very real sort of character because he realises that he's actually got lovely people around him and he's got a lovely family. I think it's only cynical when it needs to be, when it's showing how flawed his character is. The whole VCR thing, towel VCR. This is a man who, if he wanted to, could buy his family lovely, thoughtful presents. But he gets his brother a VCR. He didn't even choose himself.
Yeah.
And his brother gives him, I believe, a photo frame of the two of them as children that he's painstakingly put into a nice frame.
That's lovely, isn't it?
And I think the performances make this film for me.
Yeah.
I think the acting in it is sublime. I think the acting is almost better than the very film it's part of, and I love the film itself. But all the performers in it are just fantastic. The ghosts, we've got to talk about the ghosts,
and they are scary. Even
the ghosts are scary. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So you've got 4 ghosts.
Yeah.
You've got his old boss who turns up dressed in like golf wear, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think, and then is rotting.
Yeah.
And then there's a horrible bit where in his dream,
who's the taxi driver one? Is that the?
That's the one I'm going to get to in a minute.
Right.
So the initial ghost is obviously Marley, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
Who warns him of the 3 ghosts, and there's a scene which Frank Cross, who's Bill Murray, is dreaming. Well, supposedly dreaming, or sort of hallucinating, I guess, where he is held out of his office block window. I think, because he goes through the glass with his old boss's arm sticking out the window, and then it's rotting and he's about to fall down onto the street below. That used to terrify me as a kid because I've never been great at heights. So you got him. You've got the taxi driving ghost.
Yeah. Who, if he
goes to Christmas Past.
Yeah. Who looks like Ian Dury.
Yes, he really does.
I don't think
he's
he
a
was.
very strange looking man. No, he's not Ian Drury, but definitely looks like him.
Yeah.
You've got the Ghost of Christmas Present, who's a very annoying, like Sugar Plum Fairy type, who keeps kicking him in the balls.
Yeah, which is what I found scary when I was younger. She's terrifying.
Yeah, she's a reference to another character in another film.
Is she?
I'm just not sure who, but it's like a classic Christmas film.
Oh, okay.
She's dressed up just exactly like. And then, of course, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. The Yet to Come period is by far the most fucking terrifying.
That's the one with like the
Grim Reaper type, with all the little monsters in.
Oh.
But when they go to his future funeral, with Karen Allen looking all sort of bitchy and everything in bright white light, it's a lovely film with colours because it makes white terrifying. And then he is one of my worst fears ever. He is in a coffin being cremated alive.
Yeah.
That's his nightmare, and that would be my nightmare.
There's a similar
Awful.
scene,
Terrifying.
and if we ever do our Bond sort of going through the films of that, we'll get to that. But there's a similar scene in Diamonds Are Forever, isn't there? Where he's, you're almost convinced for a while he's going to be
cremated
alive. I mean,
Terrifying.
he's not because it's the middle of the film.
Yeah, but, and then in the end, he's only saved by a guy just with taking the coffin back out again, isn't he? I think, or pushing the buttons on the console.
But it's because of those sinister villains, Winton Kid, that you think they're going to do it because they are so ruthless. Who are gay. Yeah, there's a weird
silly,
because
it makes everyone. They also have horrible deaths.
They do.
Yeah,
horrible.
One of them.
Funny.
Bearing in mind they're a couple.
Yeah.
Right, one of the gay men is funny. One of the gay men. They're dressed as waiters. One of them has to see his partner burned alive, stabbed, and then thrown into the sea.
Yeah.
That's his last image before he dies.
It's a standard cruise, isn't it?
Yeah.
This film is... I said with Diamonds Are Forever, you know, because it's Bond, he's just going to survive, and it's middle of the film, so it'll be fine. But with Frank Ross, I don't think you definitely know that he's going to survive. I think, certainly as a child, but I didn't definitely
And Bill Murray really sells it.
Yeah.
He goes hysterical in that coffin.
Yeah.
And you really, really believe that he is desperately thinking
There's
he's
no
gonna die.
humour in that at all.
No, it's just terrifying. And then it's completely released because he goes, hallelujah, and then he's talking to Elliot Loudermilk, who has a shotgun, and then tries to kill him with a shotgun.
Which is then played for laughs. So I think some people do poke fun at, or do criticise it for being tonally all over the place, and maybe it is.
I don't. Is it?
That doesn't make me dislike it.
I don't know if it is. Isn't it quite dark all the way through?
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't think there's much light other than right at the end. I mean, at one point there's a woman in a wheelchair who's already bandaged up, and a whole flat piece of wooden scenery falls on top of her.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and they're talking about stapling antlers to mice's heads.
Yeah, that's a great line. That's definitely Mike O'Donoghue, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
a Mike O'Donoghue
Yeah,
line.
yeah, that's
He
true.
likes mice, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You mentioned mice before, and
Yeah, he does,
I think
yeah.
he's dead now, but
Yeah, and has been for some time.
yeah, it has been for some time. Yeah, clearly it was. It's interesting to see how that would have gone if he'd have continued to work with Bill Murray. I mean, when was Mr. Mike's Wonder Video? Like 78 or something like that.
And this was 88.
88. So like 10 years later, if Mike had lived, what would they have done in 98? It's fair to say it would have been better than Larger Than Life, isn't it?
I just completely forgot about that film.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
We're going to have to talk about that film.
Yeah,
That's got Matthew McConaughey in.
it has. Which people are going to be surprised about. Well, they're not now, but people would be.
He must have been a young man then.
I still think of Matthew McConaughey as young.
He's not though, surely. He must be like 50 now.
Yeah, we'll look it up. I'm going to hazard a guess at 49.
I'm going to guess 47.
Even though you said he was 50.
Well, it was right rounding up.
Yes, I know. Rounding up.
No, 48.
Yeah, I was anxious of saying 48.
Why?
How old's Bill Murray? 65?
he was born in-
67?
I think he was born in 55, wasn't he?
Was he?
Or was
No, I think he's older than that. My dad's
Well-
born in 55.
55 would make him...
63. He's not 63,
That's
I
not
don't think.
quick maths.
Yeah, well, that's only because that's what my dad is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I did that. I watched this film with you and a former girlfriend, can we say? Are we okay to say that?
Was she there?
Yeah. That's the only time I ever met her.
No, she watched Larger Than Life.
No, that didn't happen. Promise you.
She watched Scrooged.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. We won't name her, but yes.
No,
did.
we won't name her, but she was there, she existed. You guys, you paid for a pizza that we could all share.
Yeah.
And you said, what pizza do you normally have? And my wife orders the pizza. I have no idea. She knows what it is, but
Right.
she's still normally got the iPad and she does it. So I just knew it had meatballs on it. So you went for something like the Mighty Meaty, which is like a completely sort of meaty one. It had horrible things in it that I don't eat on pizzas, but I ate it. I ate it just to be nice because
this
that's
is revealing.
I know.
Turn up the book.
No. I ate it because I didn't want to waste your money.
What did it
Because
have
you
on
bought-
it?
It had the thing I hate is pepperoni, and it had lots of that. But I just,
Right.
I swallowed
Why
it
didn't
down
you just like say I don't want pepperoni?
because I didn't know that was what was on the Mighty Meaty. It seems now
Okay.
obvious, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It was Christmas, wasn't
sort
it?
of sounding like you're blaming me.
No,
but definitely
I'm not
my
blaming
fault.
you. I'm definitely not blaming you. I promise.
Yeah.
I promise. I just wanted to.
Who doesn't like pepperoni?
Me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that sort of when
I've
we were
never
watching
met
this
anyone
film.
who doesn't like pepperoni before.
Wait, you've met me before.
Apart from you, obviously.
I just want to say that when I was watching this film, which I was enjoying very much, with
You were
you
shoveling
guys,
down.
I was shoveling
sour,
down
bitter,
some meat that I was not
triangles
into-
of shite.
which is Triangles of Shite, the new
The
train
new
song.
album by, I don't know, Cunt Apocalypse.
You like that word today, don't
I
you?
do,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I don't want to blame you for the pizza. No, that was my fault. I should have researched it better. But I do remember that's my abiding memory of the film.
Right.
A pizza I wasn't
This is a
enjoying.
9.5 film.
What? Sorry?
This is a film that we rated 9.5.
Oh, the film is brilliant. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but you could watch. You could watch. Like, what's the best film you've ever seen? I know that's a hard question. Isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Well, probably Groundhog Day.
Okay, well, you could watch Groundhog Day like in 1990. No, in 2001 when the Taliban. In 2000 when the Taliban had just like taken over in Afghanistan. You know, like, and the bombs are going over, and the Mujahideen are shooting. No, I'm mixing time periods because that's not. Anyway, you could watch a really good film in a war zone, and you could still tell it's a good film even if you're worried about being
You're
shot at.
comparing me putting pepperoni in your pizza to a war zone.
Not so much.
Outrageous.
The pizza already had pepperoni on it. It was my stupid fault. I didn't realise.
Why didn't you peel it off?
Meaty. I did, but it's all embedded in, isn't it?
You're embedded in.
I am. No, please don't. You're not going to take offence about this, are you?
No,
Good.
Let's not have a paddy on the podcast. No, sometimes I like to exaggerate my response for the purposes of humour.
Okay.
This is
Sometimes
one
I
of those
like to exaggerate my anxieties that I have offended you for the purposes of humour.
Okay.
But you do yours better than I do. Anyway.
Okay.
This
Podcast audience has seen us at every stage of emotion.
Yeah, and there are films later where we sort of like that will happen at the same time as sort of like or we watched shortly after the birth of our children and stuff. You know, so this is, we've been through a journey. We're still only on 2013 when we watch these films. We're still only in the same year. We watched this in Christmas 2013.
Did we?
Yeah. So we watched 16 films over the course of only 3 or 4 months. about 5 months.
Wow.
So yeah, but because of course at that point we had a lot to catch up on. At the moment we have nothing to catch up on because we're just waiting for the next Bill Murray film to come out of the cinema.
I mean, the last film we saw was Isle of Dogs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Was that this year? It was this year,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
And that's the only film I think I've seen since The Birth of My Son.
Yeah.
With Bill Murray in it.
And it is technically a children's film, which is, I mean, he's too young for it, obviously, as is mine, but
he might enjoy it.
he might. They wouldn't enjoy Scrooged, because Scrooged is, what is it, a 15 or something?
I think it's a 12, isn't it?
Is it? It should be a 15.
Maybe it is a 15. It's dark. It's not suitable for all... No, if I watched it as a kid, it must be a 12. I think it's a PG.
Is it?
Let's check it.
That's bold, isn't it? Yeah, if you watched it as a... Yeah, I mean, I watched it on TV as well, but then...
No, I can't.
No, that's right. If it was before The Watershed, it must be...
It is a PG. I'm almost certain.
Is it? Okay.
But in those days, PGs were all sorts of films.
Yeah.
It's not got any swearing in it, though. And it's not got any violence in it.
No, I suppose
It's just
not, apart
scary.
from the gun, yeah. It is
Yeah,
scary.
but it doesn't kill anyone.
Well, for me, the scariest part of it is a Christmas film, and huge swathes of it are about mortality.
Yes.
And that's not something you generally consider at Christmas. is
No,
it? And
but an excellent controversial film. I'm wrapping up now.
Yes, no, I
an
get that.
excellent controversial film, and one that we both enjoyed.
we both enjoyed it. It's brilliant.
It's the closest film we've looked at that is... It's the closest film to being perfect without being one of the perfect films.
Yeah.
I think. No, it isn't. Ghostbusters 2 is, if you take
Yeah.
collective.
So why isn't it, just before we wrap up, why isn't it perfect? Scrooged, I mean.
Scrooged.
Yeah.
So I'm analysing... I just... It's, for me, it wasn't in the set. But for me, Ghostbusters and something else are my benchmark. And I...
Maybe for sheer consistency, maybe...
Chickens is a little bit dated and sometimes a little bit too dark.
Yeah.
But we're talking about me taking it down by 0.5.
Yes. Yeah, it's
So
a minor
these are
criticism,
minor
isn't
things.
it? And
Anyway.
it's not going to stop anyone from enjoying it. You will too when you watch it at Christmas, which we hope that you do.
Enjoy it, enjoy us, and we will see you soon.
Next time, I think it's Ghostbusters 2.
Is it?
I think so. Bye.